going to be your tour guide. I'm going to take you around one of the biggest, busiest, and oldest movie studios in the world. Don't worry, I won't make you clap for me anymore, okay? But I'm very excited. You may want to clap because this tour is going to be awesome. You're going to see our real working film and television studio today. Been making a ton of TV on the lot. I'll show you just a little bit of one of the shows that we've been making here, St. Denis Medical.
Welcome to St. Denis Medical Center.
St. Denis Regional Medical.
I have access to some really good stuff, and I will hook you up.
Yeah.
No, man. That was a test.
Like the Avengers, you know?
We're not supposed to have favorite patients, but we do.
I almost don't want them to get better.
Pale, kind of blotchy.
It's the other one.
Oh my God, that's much worse. Wow.
Yeah. Now, here's the best thing about the tour. I'm not going to drive. You're welcome. They don't allow me to handle anything bigger than a Prius for everyone's safety. So today we got Efren behind the wheel. Everybody say hi, Efren. Hi, Efren. He says hey. So now we're getting started. And let me introduce you to my special celebrity guest star as well. You would know him as the host of The Tonight Show. I just know him as my close friend. He bought me a churro just yesterday. Isn't that sweet? Say hello to my bestie, Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Alex.
And the greatest driver.
Efren.
They're the best. I love it. Even though
Alex.
it owes me $5.
Oh,
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
sorry, Jimmy. I thought the churro was a gift. My bad. I'll pay you back. First up, safety rules. If you need guest assistance or you have a medical emergency or you drop something of value off the side of the tram or have any sound or video issues, reach up, grab the red E cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Otherwise, stay seated, keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle, use that red cord if you need any assistance. The studio is private property. If you drop your phone or you just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the cord, remain seated. No smoking allowed, and be prepared. Our tour features loud noises, fire effects, water effects, so you may get wet, and sudden tram movement, so secure your personal belongings and hold on. Finally, for your safety and the safety of those around you, do not use selfie sticks while on board the tour, okay? All right, well, real quick, we're all gonna look at it, so let's talk about it. To the left-hand side, our new roller coaster opening later this year, Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. Come back and drift with us. We're very excited. But for now, we're going to drift down into our movie studio, down what we call the Universal Movie Timeline, which is this lineup of movie posters here you're seeing to the right. It's representing just a few of our favorite films here at Universal Studios. Now, Universal Studios is a part of NBC Universal, which is one of the world's largest entertainment companies that includes not only Universal Pictures, but Focus Features, Peacock, and NBC Television. And this year, NBC is celebrating its 100th anniversary. From trailblazing radio and television to launching The Today Show, the Saturday Night Live, The Voice, The Office, The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, and every beloved show in between, NBC's been the home of entertainment, news, and sports for an entire century. So we're celebrating the network all year long here at Universal, but you know what? We've been celebrating NBC for a long time with our Fire Station, which is coming up here on the right-hand side. This is Fire Station 51, which pays homage to an old TV show from the 70s, NBC's Emergency. Yes, they had a Fire Station 51 within the show. Ours, unlike theirs, is real though. This is a real fire station. It has to be real because we're a real city. Yes, you're not in Hollywood right now. You're not in Studio City. You're not in Burbank. You're in Universal City, our very own filmmaking city. But to be a real city, you got to have all the things a typical city has. So you have to have a fire station. You got to have a sheriff's station, a zip code, at least one Starbucks coffee. You got to have all that. But also, since we make movies here, we have to have a whole lot more, including sound stages, which is where 80 to 90% of all the filming on the lot takes place. Big warehouse buildings called sound stages. Off to the left-hand side, you're seeing one. This is our largest and oldest sound stage on the lot, stage 12. It was built back in 1928 for the movie musical Broadway. Since then, it's where some of the most memorable moments in filmmaking history have been brought to life. All of these scenes scenes were filmed inside of that same exact stage. See, our sound stages, they start empty. It's up to the productions that rent the space to fill it out with whatever environment, whatever sets their film or show requires. Of course, filmmakers can actually construct their sets here on the lot because actually anything you need to do for a movie or a TV show can happen right here on the property. So we have a wood shop, a metal shop, a plastic plaster shop here where set builders can craft a set from scratch. Then they load it into a soundstage, light it up, and start filming. Now, why do we film in sound stages? Well, they're 98% soundproof. The walls are 4 times thicker than typical walls and heavily insulated. That way it's always quiet on set, which is exactly what we need when we're here filming, recording audio, trying to capture all the hilarious lines of dialogue being delivered by our actors. Gotta have it quiet. And that's especially important here at Universal because we're right next to a theme park. See, our sound stages are to the left, but to the right, this is the backside of Super Nintendo World. That's how close our theme park is to our movie studio. And now that I've mentioned Super Nintendo World, I think I have to mention the new movie right now in theaters, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Have you seen it yet?
Yes.
Studio tour. I'm Charlie Day.
I'm Chris Pratt. Here's a look at our new film, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, only in theaters April 1st.
Finish this
Yes, we're very excited about our new movies coming out, but also our new TV shows, or at least our new seasons of TV shows. See, they just dropped season 5 of Hacks on HBO Max, which is just a show that we make here at Universal. Actually, right here in these stages to the right-hand side is where they filmed season 5, stages 16 and 17. Hacks, if you haven't seen it, it's our Emmy Award-winning and Golden Globe Award-winning show. It's extremely funny, heartwarming. Check it out if you haven't. Stars Hannah Einbinder and Jean Smart. Now, right next door, speaking of award winners, stage 18 was home to scenes from Oppenheimer with Cillian Murphy, our Best Picture winner of 2024. Yes, sirree. And then 19, right next door, is where they filmed season 1 of our spin-off of The Office called The Paper with Domhnall Gleeson. It's also where we brought you all 4 seasons of The Good Place with Kristen Bell and Ted Danson, one of our favorite Teds. But our top favorite Ted forever, for always, is Ted the Teddy Bear. Here to the left, he's toasting to y'all with his generic beer. Season 2 of his prequel series just dropped on Peacock. Look for the show. It's called Ted. It's a good one. Now, Ted's in front of these little Ted-colored buildings here. These are called bungalows. These offices are home to writers, directors, producers here in the biz. We're currently home to Mark Platt Productions. Mark Platt brought you Wicked and Wicked for Good with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. We also have Kevin Williamson here on the lot. Kevin Williamson is the one that created Dawson's Creek. He also co-created CW's The Vampire Diaries with Julie Plec, who also has her office here on the property. So a lot of amazing creatives here in these offices. But before they were just offices, they also used to serve as the dressing rooms back in the golden age of Hollywood for stars like Rock Hudson, Doris Day, Jimmy Stewart, Lucille Ball. During that era of Hollywood, we used to contract actors to one studio at a time. So if you were a Universal actor under contract, you couldn't work for any other studio. You could only work with Universal. And since these actors were going to be on the lot, well, a lot, we wanted them to have a permanent dressing room here on the property, so they each got their very own bungalow. Nowadays, actors don't sign with a single studio. They normally sign with a project, right? So they'll sign with a movie, maybe a franchise, a television show, but they won't sign with the studio itself, which means we need a more flexible dressing room option. We use the mobile trailer more often now as the dressing rooms for our stars. Now, these bungalows have not just been home to actors. They're also where a lot of directors have done their work. We have our most famous bungalow coming up on the right, or the left-hand side, excuse me. Bungalow 5195 is Alfred Hitchcock's old office, the master of suspense behind thrillers like Psycho, Vertigo, Rear Window, The Birds. But on a lighter note, We've had a comedy filming up ahead, a comedy I mentioned to you guys a little earlier, St. Denis Medical with Wendy McClendon-Covey and David Allen Greer. They film right here in stages 25 and 26. 25 and 26 are slightly different sound stages. You'll notice that they look a little different here. They function the same way as a normal soundstage, but they've got built-in offices, and editing rooms, and dressing rooms in this space. So that's what you're kind of seeing here in the front, the office side of the building. In the back is where they do the filming in the soundstage part. Some of our newest sound stages here on the left. Season 3 of St. Denis Medical got greenlit, so they're going to be back to film some more right here. Now inside, it looks like a hospital, and they do mostly their interior scenes in their soundstage. That's what we mostly do in sound stages, folks. Interior scenes that happen inside. Bedrooms, offices, hospitals, etc. But sometimes when you're filming, you gotta see outside on screen. You gotta see exterior scenes. Well, those exterior sets, they don't often fit in our sound stages. So when that's the case, to the left-hand side, it can play any major city we want it to be. It's been Chicago and the Blues Brothers, my hometown of Kansas City, and Warner Brothers City Heat. It's been London, and Warner Brothers filmed The Prestige with Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman. We'll see more of it in a moment, okay? And more of the backlot as a whole. But right now, I gotta get you away from our city, out of the concrete jungle. We're going to the real jungle of Skull Island. Get ready.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. And to me, the documentary does that. I mean, you're on board a ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island. And it's great to have you along for the ride. We're about to return to Skull Island.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the real Skull Island too, through this portal in this cave. But you know what, the Skull Island in the film King Kong from 2005, a lot of it was not real at all. They were what we call miniature sets. Miniature sets is one of the oldest tricks in the filmmaking book. Basically what happens is they build a scaled down model version of a location. They can make it really fantastical because they can build it very small. They use close-up camera angles to make it look as large as life, matching all the set pieces and the props to the scale they're creating. The only thing that ruins the shot is if something comes into the frame that breaks the scale and ruins the illusion, like in this case, a giant duck. That duck's the size of a whale. So we can't have that. In that case, we'd have to cut. But if you keep everything to the proper scale, it's gonna look very realistic, and that's why we use miniature sets still to this day, even when we have fancier effects like computer-generated effects we do in the computer. Folks, stay seated, hold on to your things, especially your cell phones, okay? And get ready, hold on, things are gonna get a little bumpy.
Nobody's lived here for hundreds of years. War, hard fought. Why did they build the wall?
Did you have fun? Did you like that? Yeah? Okay, good. Thumbs up. That was brought to you from the minds of Peter Jackson and the team at Weta Effects. Weta Effects is an Academy Award-winning visual effects company, which means they do computer-generated effects, CGI, digital effects. Digital effects have been an important tool in filmmaking for a long time, bringing you the worlds of some of your favorite Universal pictures, from sci-fi to fantasy to action and more. But we're going to see more of our city here in a moment. Just the outskirts, because they're actually prepping to film a commercial in our city set today. So we're going to stick to the outskirts. But speaking of action, a lot of action scenes and sequences have happened in our city. Scenes from Paramount's Captain America: The First Avenger, Transformers with Shia LaBeouf, Hobbs and Shaw with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. They all had epic action scenes take place in the center of our metropolitan area. It's a 4-acre set, so it takes up a lot of room here. It has a bunch of different sections. You just saw the downtown location, but there's also a European section, an East Village, a small town, a residential area, a theater district, a Wall Street, so that our filmmakers can choose the perfect alleyway or street corner for their scene. Let me show you what the set can look like, all dressed up, ready for production. Before we move into any of our sets on the backlot, we've got to add all the decoration. And by decoration, I mean the props, the set pieces that really bring the city to life, make it look like a real location as opposed to a ghost town. So the signs, the cars, the parking meters, the street lamps, the bus stops, the trash cans, the people walking by, all that stuff has to be added to make sure the city looks real and specific for whatever's filming out there at the moment. You'll see here towards the end, we've got our European section. You can tell because there's columns, so it kind of lends itself to looking more like London or some European location. Yeah, as you can see, this is the production team down here. It's prepping for that commercial, so they're getting everything ready. Typically what this is like a little base camp. So they have their catering set up, their crafty, which is the table full of snacks and drinks that you can pick throughout the day, keep yourself energized throughout your work day here on the set. We're gonna go see our other exterior sets, folks. We got a lot to choose from, so we're gonna show you around. On the way though, we're gonna also see some more sound stages. So if you look to the left-hand side, you'll see stage 3031, home of The Voice, everyone's favorite singing competition show. Yes, sirree. They're working on season 29, but 28 was very fun. It had Reba McEntire on the team. And Reba was also here 2 doors down at the same time, filming in stage 33 for Happy's Place, her sitcom.
Hey there, I'm Reba McEntire and welcome to Happy's Place. We shoot our heartfelt comedy right here on Universal Live. Now, like most TV shows, we are a multi-camera sitcom, meaning several cameras capture every scene from a different angle all at the same time. Each episode takes about a week to make, from the first read-through of the script to rehearsals to the incredible acting of the audience. Every step is a blast. Enjoy the ride, and we'll see you at Happy's Place.
Thanks, Reba. Reba films Happy's Place right next to my personal happy place here on the lot, which is this lake we've been passing to the left-hand side called Park Lake. You might have seen one of our geese standing up there on the fence. Our lake is home to a whole family of adorable geese. They're very cute. Way cuter than the creature that used to inhabit that same water, the gill man from Creature from the Black Lagoon, one of our famous monster movies. Off to the left-hand side, you'll see where we made most of our monster films in Little Europe here. It's where we made Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, Bride of Frankenstein, all here in Little Europe, mostly back in the 30s and 40s. Folks, we are about halfway through our tour. I just want to remind you to stay seated. The studio is private property if you drop your phone or you trams into, but usually we're only allowed to enter when it's empty. Not today, folks. It is not empty at all. There's been a production filming in here for a couple of weeks, and they graciously said we could spend some time in their set while they're out for lunch. So take your pictures, but please stay seated. Hold on to your stuff. We don't want to disrupt their hot set. They'll be back in just an hour or so. Now, I can't tell you much about this production. It's an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. All I know is that it takes place in San Francisco, and that's not because they told me that. It's because there's a sign to the right that says "Welcome to San Francisco." So I'm just looking around. Okay, hold that thought. Seems like we're having a little earthquake. Stay seated. Hold on. These things typically pass very quickly already. There's no need to panic. I repeat, there is no need to panic. Please. So the roof just caved in. Everyone panic! Yeah, I said everyone panic. Do another take after we take 10. That was pretty good though. Good work, folks. Your acting was pretty good. You were a little late on your cue to panic, but at the end there we got some natural screams. I liked it. We'll make sure that makes the final cut. Good work, everybody. That was Earthquake, the big one. It was built for our tour back in 1989. It was based on a movie we made in the 70s called Earthquake. And that's when everyone in Hollywood was making disaster movies. That was the trend at the time. We do this in town. We go through these phases where everyone gets obsessed with one kind of genre. Right now we're in a superhero movie phase. Been in that for a long time. But when we opened, it was all about the Western film. In the 30s and 40s for us here at Universal, it was about the monster movie. In the 50s, we were all making musicals. But in the 70s, disasters. Earthquake, Airport were a couple of Universal films that we made in that genre. We also made a movie back in 1975 that would become the most famous disaster movie of all time. A film called Jaws, directed by Steven Spielberg. Hey, let's go to Amity Island, shall we? Now don't worry about the man-eating shark thing if you heard about that, okay? We caught a shark this morning. The water should be clear and free of predators. And just in case we have any issues, we do have a friend from the police team here on site. He's in the water doing a dive, making sure things are extra safe for us. So we'll check in with him. His name is Officer George, okay? Stay seated, hold on to your stuff. We'll make sure George has everything he needs. Oh. Okay, I spoke a little too soon about the shark thing. It seems like there is a shark here, but don't worry, George is going to take care of it. George has been an expert in taking care of sharks. I'll tell you from experience, Officer George is the best and bravest officer on the entire force. Officer George was the best and bravest officer on the force, and he'll be missed. Can't believe some of you guys are filming this. It's sort of insensitive. We do have a backup plan. We attached some bait to that yellow barrel. Let's see if we can catch the shark. Oh, look. The shark took our bait. So scary. Are you guys okay?
Yes.
Is everyone here and accounted for? Yes? Anybody missing? Raise your hand if you're missing. Only if you're missing. Okay, found you. You're safe. Found you in the third car. You're good. Fourth car found you, you, and you. Okay. What a relief. Oh, second car found you. Almost lost you for good. That's our mechanical shark, Bruce, everybody. Modeled and nicknamed after the original shark from Jaws. And this attraction is today 50 years old. So thanks to Bruce out there for working for 50 years, and for George. George is gonna pop back up and die again in 30 seconds. That's what he does all day long. He's a very hardworking mechanical effect. Now, George and Bruce are both mechanical effects, which is another name for special effects, okay? And special effects are live effects. They happen on set right in front of the camera, as opposed to those visual effects we talked about earlier, which happen in the computer. We're gonna show you some more special effects down here in Old Mexico, where we're gonna whip up a little bit of weather, okay? We're gonna make it rain here just the way we would for a scene. We love to add rain to a scene here in Hollywood because rain increases the emotion, the tension, the drama of whatever scene it's used in. Think about it. Sad scenes get sadder in the rain, right? Scary scenes get scarier in the rain. Even romance scenes somehow get more romantic in the rain. So we're gonna add some rain to our tour, make things more dramatic. Action. This is how we do it. We're using a very complicated, very intricate system here. It's called a sprinkler. Heard of it? Okay. Shoots the water out and up. That way it falls back down as naturally as possible, and now we have a storm. If we were filming here, we'd want better lighting. If you don't light rain correctly, it might just make the picture a bit blurry. The trick is to backlight it. Light from behind the water from a slight angle, then it should show up nice and clear. You're not just hearing rain, you're also hearing sizzling bacon, a sound effect they add to rain to make it... Wait, what's that? Oh no, we got too much water. Cut the rain, it's a flash flood! No, not up here. I'm up here. Oh! Okay, we're good. I stayed mostly dry. How'd you guys do? Okay, you did better than Paul Giamatti and Big Fat Liar, that is for sure. Yeah, Paul takes on our flood in this film. He fails miserably. But you know who also took on the flood, looked a lot cooler? Lady Gaga. She stood there in a full-length gown for her music video for Judas. Our flood was our first attraction we ever added to the tour in 1968. And then 8 years later, 50 years ago today, we added Jaws with the help of Steven Spielberg, of course.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of the ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal. They were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical truck that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the crowd.
Okay, I'm tired of terrifying the tourists. We're gonna go someplace more comfortable. Welcome home, everyone, to our residential section of the lot. We got a whole neighborhood out here full of a lot of houses where our favorite characters have lived over the years. Off to the right-hand side, you'll see the Chicken Ranch from The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, starring Miss Dolly Parton, where she sang, "I Will Always Love You." But up to the left-hand side of the street is our most famous residential street on the lot. We call it Colonial Street, but you might know it best as Wisteria Lane from ABC's Desperate Housewives. But long before the Housewives were even a glimmer in some producer's eye, this street was here, and we were making movies and TV shows on it. So I'm going to show you guys around, starting on the left-hand side of the street. This tan house here belonged to Jimmy Stewart and his invisible bunny friend in the film Harvey from 1950. Right next door, the purple house is 1313 Mockingbird Lane from the Munsters in the 60s, excuse me. Right next door, the yellow house is where the Hardy Boys were solving mysteries back in the 70s. But the gray house on the very end is my personal fave. It's where Dr. Dre and Eminem stood outside of a burned-down house with a can full of gas and a handful of matches. Still weren't found out. The Forgot About Dre music video. Seems like some of you guys forgot about Dre. That's okay. It's cool. It's cool. Smash Mouth's All-Star also filmed their music video here. You know the song, Hey Now, You're an All-Star, right? They painted all these houses crazy colors for that one. And that's why you work here in this neighborhood as opposed to somebody's real neighborhood, right? You can paint a house a crazy color, blow one up, burn one down. We don't care. No one lives here, okay? The only people who live here are fictional people in our stories. And the most recent fictional characters to live on this street were the residents of Ashfield Place in our series, The Burbs, starring Keke Palmer, based on a movie, The Burbs, which also filmed here in 1989 with Mr. Tom Hanks. So let me take you to Ashfield Place, show you this street in action in The Burbs, which is now on Peacock.
Ashfield Place, the safest, in America. So, what's the deal with that Victorian spot? There have been whispers of which one of us is the murderer? The white ladies love salads. Hell yeah, we're going in.
All right, they're going in, but we're getting out of the Burbs. We're heading up Steven Spielberg Drive now, the longest street on our lot, which makes a lot of sense when you consider just how long our relationship with Mr. Steven Spielberg has really been.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams, there were buses called the Grey Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. It was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom. When everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until after the bus left. And then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots was so crowded because all movies were made on film lots too. Made all over the world, on location, but most of us most of those days, all the 60s, on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage. I really felt in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
All right, folks, we are about 10-15 minutes away from the end of our tour. Just another reminder to stay seated and pull the red cord if you end up needing any assistance, all right? But right now I want to show you the coolest parking lot you've probably ever seen in your life. It's the home of our picture cars here on the lot. And a picture car is any vehicle seen in TV or film. Anytime a car or a train or a plane or even a tram is seen on screen, it's a picture car. And cars do a lot of storytelling for filmmakers in movies and TV shows. Cars can give you important details like time period or location. Cars tell you something about the character who owns the car, their personality, their financial status, their taste, their job. It can all be gleaned by the car that they drive, but most often cars are a part of the plot. They're driving forward the action. They're taking our characters to the next big movie moment. Like in 1960 Psycho, when Marion Crane drives her car up a dark road in the middle of a stormy night, ends up right here at the Bates Motel. This is the Bates Motel from the sequels of Psycho, but up the hill, one of the oldest sets left standing in all of Hollywood, the original Psycho house from 1960. Now that there, if you don't know, is Norman Bates. And if you don't know the story, I'll tell you a little synopsis here, okay? Norman Bates is the proprietor of the motel, but usually there's not a lot of work to do because no one often stays here. It's sort of in the middle of nowhere, but someone checked into room number 1 last night, and now she's checking out forever because Norman Bates is in fact a murderer. Yes, spoiler alert, he's a very bad man. It's not his fault he's so bad though. He had a tough childhood, specifically a terrible mother. Wait, is he listening to me? Oh no, he doesn't like when you talk bad about his mom. We gotta go, sorry folks. That's my bad. Norman, your mother's lovely. Everyone thinks so, especially the 4th car. Oh, wow. Whew, sorry, 4th car. That's my fault. We shouldn't have come this way. I knew that guy was a psycho, seriously. We're gonna go check out his house and then we'll get out of here. Hopefully he stops staring soon. Now the song you just heard is called The Murder, composed by Bernard Herrmann, who scored many of Hitchcock's most famous films. But before he was scoring movies for Hitchcock, he was conducting the music for a radio play back in 1938. Yes, a radio play called War of the Worlds, directed by Orson Welles. That radio play would later inspire Steven Spielberg to make his own version of the story right here in 2005. Welcome to the set of Paramount's War of the Worlds, where Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning hide out from an alien invasion. That is a real 747, an airplane bought and destroyed for this very scene. Take a look.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision of Steve.
You forget it. To sit down and talk about war. That thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep it nice and right. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Now I'm closed. Let me get in. Get in.
Get in, Rob. We gotta go. We've got to go see another sci-fi thriller set. Yes, another alien movie, actually. We're going to visit the set from the film called Nope, starring Keke Palmer, Stephen Yeun, Daniel Kaluuya, and Brandon Perea. We're going to a small-town theme park from the film. It's called Jupiter's Claim, and it's where a lot of the mysterious action in the story takes place. Here to walk you through the set himself is writer-director, Academy Award winner, Mr. Jordan Peele.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, get together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Wrigley Jr. Park. Over there, look into the Winking Lab. Have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Cheer. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? Right. A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable food live show. So live. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy, old Rush Frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot. Welcome to the world of no.
Did you guys see that? Nope. Don't worry. We weren't supposed to see anything specific, but it is a great example of using sound effects to build your suspense. Put you on the edge of your seat, make you think something's about to pop out. It's exactly what they do in thrillers and horror movies all the time. Filmmakers are always trying to manipulate our emotions using our senses, and sound is a great way for them to do that. Sound effects. They also use music, lighting, pacing, color. It's all decided very strategically by the production team to enhance a certain emotional effect in the audience. Color can be used very specifically because individual colors have certain psychological effects on the human mind. When you use a lot of one color, it might set a certain emotional tone for the entire film. You use a lot of red to create a sense of danger, or blue for the feeling of relaxation. Now we might all be feeling a little relaxed right now because there's a lot of blue to the right-hand side. You see this? This is a filming location, believe it or not. It's called Falls Lake, made up of the big blue wall and the giant pit in front of that wall. They fill that up with water. And then they could do a lake scene, or an ocean scene, or a Hudson River scene, which is exactly what they did here for Sully with Tom Hanks. The plane, the people, the water you see, it's all really there on set, but everything in the background, the cityscape, the skyline is just that big blue wall, acting as a giant green screen so that we can digitally impose whatever backdrop we want into the back of the scene, make this take place anywhere. It's the work of a visual effects artist, just one of our many unsung heroes in the industry, because when we watch movies as audiences, we're often thinking of the same people, the actors, the directors. We don't often think of the lighting technicians, set builders, editors, visual effects artists, costume designers, composers, writers, right? There are hundreds and hundreds of people who work on every single film. You know how I know? Because at the end of every one, there's a list. It's called the credits. So next time you watch a movie that you really love, maybe stay to the end. Watch the credits roll. See just how many names scroll by. Give a little nod of respect to each of those artists, artisans, and craftsmen who work so hard day in, day out for months, maybe years, to bring that story to life and entertain you for just a little while in the theater. But I hope we entertained you for a while on the tram, folks. It's time to get you back to the theme park so you can enjoy the rest of your day here at Universal Studios Hollywood. If you haven't downloaded the Universal Studios Hollywood app, you may want to. It'll give you show times, wait times, all the park info you need, like closing time, which tonight is 7 p.m. I want to tell you that Little Europe, our set for our monster movies, it's also the setting this year for the Ultimate Mystery Mashup. Don't miss Scooby-Doo Meets the Universal Monsters, a live-action episode that comes to life at Universal Fan Fest nights.
What is Shaggy's catchphrase?
It's Zoinks!
There they are.
Join Scooby-Doo and the gang explore the Backlot, interact with the mayhem, and help solve the chaotic case only at Universal Fan Fest nights. Select nights from April 23rd to May 16th. Find out more and purchase tickets at universalstudioshollywood.com. If I reminded you guys of your favorite Universal movie you want to go watch again, you can find out how to stream and purchase all of our content online at universalpicturesathome.com. Thanks to our annual pass members for being back with us. If you'd like to become an annual pass member, you can take your single-day ticket to the Universal box office, find out how to upgrade to an annual pass today, and then you can keep coming back and seeing me, your tour guide Alex, or your driver Efren. Clap it up for Efren, everybody. Wasn't he fabulous? Yes. Hey, you know what? I'm going to be out there waving goodbye. If you got any